Welcome to Purpose Power. In this episode, we're going to talk about 4 types of values. So with the Mission Labs, we talk about 4 types of values. And these are really helpful in understanding which values are truly our own versus which we feel somehow obligated to include or might have some muddy thinking on. So let's define each of those 4 types of values. The types of values are expected, admired, values in development, and values in use. Our expected values, those are ones that we actually expect of other people. We want to see that our kids or our spouse or our coworkers hold and behave and demonstrate these types of values. But expected values are a little bit special because they're values that, even though they feel really to have meaning in our lives, they're really values that we want to see in other people, but they are not part of our values toolkit ourselves. Values that we admire or admired values, those are values that we look at somebody else and we say, wow, she is so generous, or he is so orderly, or so logical. We look at somebody else and we might even briefly consider, wow, I really wish that I could be as logical as he is. But these are not values that, even though they might be a little bit sparkly and fun, they're not values that ultimately you're going to take home and live with. They might appear on your initial catch of values lists, but these are ones that you're really just looking at somebody else and you're saying, wow, it's so great that they can be that way. Our values in development and values in use get their own episode on Purpose Power, but in a nutshell, values in development are values that we want to bring out more in ourselves and to really have as part of our personal mission statement. And values in use are the values that we already use in our day-to-day lives. We've already habituated them. We feel confident in those values. They are part of what you might call your value core. So we have expected, admired, values in development, and values in use that all help us build toward crafting a personal mission statement that allows us to really have a purposeful and directed life. So that was a lot of information about values. And the reason that we go deep on understanding what flavor each value is because when we identify which values are expected or admired or values in use or values in development, that's the way that we can really hone in and gain that laser focus on how we want to live our lives and how we state our own purposes. So it's a healthy exercise to go through and identify which of these values do I really want to see in others, but I'm not going to hold myself to the same level of accountability. Which are values that I really admire, but don't really plan to live my life on? And which are the values that I really want to take on and develop and grow through and continue to display? As we each go through the process of developing our own personal mission statements, these values and the clarity of distinguishing across all 4 of these domains is really like the fuel for making sure that we cross the finish line with the strongest personal mission statement possible. And here's a helpful hint. As we consider our values and we arrive at a personal mission statement, our work isn't yet done. In fact, we need to live with it and try it out and do little personal mission statement exercises and experiments. And what we'll find is that we keep revisiting these 4 types of values to continue to polish and to refine what our personal mission statement looks like. Let's take a moment now to do a little bit of experimentation and a little bit of a challenge on the 4 types of values. At the end of every 5-minute Purpose Power video, I give you a challenge that can be accomplished in 5 or fewer minutes so that you can really deepen your understanding and put some work behind what you're learning with these videos. So let's jump in on our types of values challenge. So this one actually has you playing detective, and it's less looking inward and it's more looking outward. So I hope you find this fun. Take notice as you go through the next 5-10 minutes of your day and see what messages you're getting about particularly admired values and particularly expected values. So something that comes to mind for me as an expected value. You know how in an office break room, there's often a sign on the refrigerator that includes some message about throwing out your food or labeling your food or something like that. Think about what is the expected value that's being expressed there. Or look in some marketing or fundraising materials or ads that you've seen recently. Maybe it's on your Facebook feed, maybe it's in your mailbox. What values are they calling attention to as admired values? I'm going to guess these are things like generosity, if it's fundraising, or a sense of style and confidence, if it were perhaps a fashion ad. See if you can identify what types of values are put in the spotlight as admired, or if you're the ideal consumer, what values you have. Take note of those and see if any of them resonate with you, or see what sort of action they have inspired in you. Did these stated values by somebody else putting a sign on the fridge or putting an ad in your Facebook feed, did they inspire you to action? I'd be curious to know about your results in the comments below. Please do subscribe to the Mission Labs channel. This is Dr. Emily Socash with this episode of Purpose Power. Hope to see you online over at themissionlabs.com really soon. Bye-bye.
Here at the Mission Labs, our mission is helping you find yours. Head over to themissionlabs.com and sign up for our Mission Labs Members Lounge to get the inspiration you need now for crafting a personal mission statement and beginning your life of stated purpose.